My name is Jonathan Marler. I'm 30 years old, and this is my shop, Keep Pushing, and we just opened up on the 4th. I've been skateboarding for the past 20 years. New dad, so that's been awesome, and yeah. I think the Quad Cities is super diverse, and we have a lot of potential here, whether it's athletes, skateboarders, things like that. I think we have a good group of people because you have your people that live out in the boonies, and then you have your city people, and it's just really diverse.
What really motivated you to help the community around here?
So I wasn't always like this. You know, growing up, it's always one of those things where it's me, 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 me. And then as I got older and have kids now, I want to make sure that they have something positive to look back on. So it's, what can I do to help my community and the children, pretty much. So eventually when I can figure out costs and things like that, I want to accept food donations to give discounts on boards, trucks, wheels, whatever you need, so I can donate those to shelters. Same once it gets cold, we have, you know, hoodies, jackets, sweaters, whatever people have available, I can give discounts to for product. So those are some of the things that I really want to do. There's also back to school season. I know some parents don't have money for school supplies, so if I can do a drive to bring in school supplies that I can donate to the local schools, that'd be something huge as well.
So what are your favorite skate parks or skate spots to skate around the QC or to cruise?
Ooh. Favorite skate spot I would think is Schwiebert Park in Rock Island. That little plaza area that they have. I mean, it's like a nice little 5-stair, there's ledges, I mean, and you never get kicked out. It's just a nice little spot to skate. So for street skating, that, I really like our Davenport Park. It's been open now for about 15 years, and it's just been really fun to always go to. I've been there since opening day until now. And I'm getting ready to check out the new Des Moines Park, which is the biggest in the United States. So that'll be fun. And back to like talking about the potential the Quad City has and stuff like that. Like my buddy Kevin played for the Steamwheelers. So like I have his jersey hanging up. I also have a signed Chase and Randall basketball card that I want to display as well because, you know, he went to Rocky. Now he's playing professional basketball for the Magic. Sandra is going to Rome to play soccer. I want to get her jersey to hang up in here. I want to showcase that it's not even skateboarding. You can do football, basketball, soccer. We have that potential here in this little town.
Have you thought about how the QC can get more skate parks? I know we were talking a little bit about that earlier.
I think it really depends on the person and the drive to get these skate parks.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's essential to have these outlets for people to go to skate and things like that, because people always say, well, kids are getting in trouble, they need a place to go. Let's give them a place to go. Let's have a skate park.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's where I'm doing everything that I can to try to push this. You know, I've only been open less than 2 weeks, and I'm already having meetings to try to push this forward to see what we can do to get these kids somewhere to skate.
Just to follow up with that, what are your thoughts on like the skate church over in Davenport?
I love Skate Church. Yeah, Connor's a good guy. He runs it. Yeah, it's a nice, safe place to go in the wintertime. Summertime when it's too hot, it's cheap and you have 3 floors to skate on. So, you know, you can't ask for much better than that. I got my first board in December of 2001. So once I got that and I started learning and progressing, I knew that I always wanted to be a part of skateboarding. I came from a military family, so we moved around a lot, and I knew that if I wanted to do something in skateboarding, I'd have to live in California. That's pretty much it. You know, if I wanted to be a skateboarder or a pro skater, if I wanted to do this, California was my ticket. Well, then I sat there and I thought, okay, what if I start small, do a shop? You know, I love going to local shops. Every time I go to a new local shop, I pick up either a shirt or a board from them, so I can, you know, showcase where I've been and the things that I have. I've always wanted to do something with skateboarding, but it really hit me early February. Was like really the kick in the butt that I needed to be like, okay, I have to do it. And I quit my job and I just started working on it, and it worked out You know, I had shoulder surgery from a
Sure.
previous job, so I was out of workman's comp. I was out for 8 months. Then COVID hit. So I was cooped up for the 8 months of recovery, now COVID, and you know, we don't have anything like this around here.
Right.
You know, I love skateboarding. I want to take care of our skateboarders and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I was like, I have to do this. And basically from February till now, I've just been busting my balls and like really trying to get it going. So
Do you remember your first board?
yes, it was a blind. I had Venture trucks. I had Reds bearings and Spitfire wheels.
Do you sell those here, like in your shop?
I will. It's just been really hard with everything here to find
Sure,
time
yeah.
at home to like sit there and like mess around with it. Once I figure out a day off that I can take, I'm just gonna start doing more and more to have in the shop. So one of the things I have, like over there right now, I have 3 decks that people, once they bought a new one, they just left it here. So eventually what I want to try to do is, if it's in good enough shape, you know, buy some decent trucks, some okay wheels, things like that, to give to kids that can't afford a skateboard. They really want to do it, but they just can't afford it because it's a pricey thing to get into. You know, the first initial purchase is the biggest. After that, it's just, you know, fairly cheap. So if I can make these completes for these kids that I can just give out, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Do you longboard at all?
I don't. I have a cruiser set up, so that's what I do, and I usually use that for like filming and stuff like that.
Sure. What's the difference between a longboard and a cruiser?
So cruisers, 2 seconds.
Sure.
So this is what I would use for my cruiser board.
Okay.
You know, it's 10-inch wide. It's, you know, the same length as a regular board.
Sure.
You just put trucks and the big soft wheels on it, and then that's what I would use for my cruisers. So, you know, your boards are gonna have concave and stuff like this. So I try to use pretty much from these bolts to these bolts, this section, because it's the flattest. So then I don't have any like wobbles in it and stuff like that, or have to do extra sanding. So I try to use this, but I mean, if we look at it, I can use the entire board. But I always look at the colors, because this is what's going to give you your colors here. So if I made this into a ring, it's going to be that blue, purple, the natural wood, and orange. So each one typically has different colors in it. So that's where I get like my colors and stuff like that from. You know, these boards will go quickly, but this right here is my saving grace. So I have a humidifier in here to keep it moist in here so the boards don't warp. Because with our seasons and things like that, when it gets too hot, when it gets too cold, this wood will start to spin and stuff like that. So that keeps it humid in here to avoid that. So I mean, a board can sit up here for, you know, maybe a couple months and it'll be fine.
So then once you hit those couple months and it hasn't sold, and say hypothetically like it starts warping, what do you do?
So one of the 2 things I'll do is I'll basically cut the price in half. Whatever it is, half price. Or someone's skating by, the board's junk. Hey man, it's warped, but here's a free board.
Cool.
You know, yesterday I did a thing for the next person to come in and buy a board, you get free bearings. You know, and that was a $40 free set of bearings that I gave away. You know, I want to take care of our skateboarders. And it's just little things like that that can do it.
Do you have any words of wisdom for any new skateboarders, anybody in the QC that just skateboards?
Don't skate to get sponsored. That's pretty much it. You know, a lot of these kids have these ambitions and dreams. They want to be a pro skater. That's awesome. But don't just skate to get there. You know what I mean?
I know.
This is all fun. You know, I've been skating for 20 years. I've had shoe sponsored. I've had, you know, hookups from decks and stuff like that. But it's all about having fun.
Right.
You know, I didn't go out there and looking for sponsorships. It just worked its way to me.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing, is a lot of these kids, that's all they want is to get sponsored. But you need to take the first step and just have fun.